United against Trump. Leaders from some of the world's largest powers right now joining forces to take on the White House.
We just, over the last few minutes, literally shot out a boat, a drug-carrying boat, a lot of drugs in that boat.
Imagine a man once regarded as one of the most dominant figures on the planet, now faltering, weakened, and unraveling under the relentless glare of cameras. His voice cracks mid-sentence. His body betrays him with tremors and fatigue, and the vast influence he once wielded slips through his fingers as adversaries abroad celebrate his decline. Once he commanded armies, reshaped alliances, and projected an image of unshakable authority. Today, what remains is a diminished figure, bitter, frail, and desperately holding on to the illusion of power. This is no quiet collapse hidden away from the public eye. It is a breakdown unfolding live, captured on every broadcast and headline. Each press conference, each social media outburst meant to demonstrate strength only exposes greater weakness. As global power shifts, as new alliances form and old wounds resurface, he finds himself surrounded by challenges he cannot control, haunted by his own record, and cornered by the future. This is the unraveling of Donald Trump, and in this report, we examine how a man who once portrayed himself as the strongest and toughest of leaders now faces his reckoning, physically deteriorating, politically sidelined, and morally exposed. It began with an image few could ignore. Donald Trump, standing at a podium, struggling just to complete a speech. His hand, discolored and trembling, clutched the microphone. His face appeared swollen, his ankles visibly inflamed. Supporters brushed these signs off as exhaustion, but critics pointed to them as undeniable markers of decline. The press event had been designed to project vitality and resilience. Instead, it became a moment of ridicule. Commentators compared it to Weekend at Donnie's, a hollow performance, the body present but the authority absent. What makes that image so consequential is the contrast it highlights. As Trump battles to appear steady, his global rivals stage their own displays of strength. In Beijing, Xi Jinping orchestrates a sweeping military parade, flanked by Russia's Vladimir Putin and North Korea's Kim Jong-un. Tanks, aircraft, and soldiers thunder across Tiananmen Square in a demonstration of force. The message was unmistakable: a new world order where the United States is no longer unrivaled. Trump, in response, retreats to social media. From his online platform, he issues rambling statements, congratulating dictators, pleading for recognition, lashing out at supposed betrayals. At one point, he even sent his warmest regards to Putin and Kim, sounding less like a world leader and more like an excluded guest watching from afar as rivals celebrate without him. Then came the incident that even many supporters could not defend. Trump released footage of a U.S. military strike on a fishing boat near Venezuela, boasting of the operation. 11 people died. He framed it as a victory, proof of his toughness. But instead of respect, the reaction was one of horror. Investigators quickly noted there was no clear evidence the boat posed any immediate danger. Even if allegations of smuggling were true, summary execution at sea was indefensible. What Trump hailed as justice looked more like a reckless massacre. Analysts around the world condemned it as a grotesque abuse of force, impulsive, needless, and cruel. The result was global embarrassment. While foreign leaders showcased unity and power, Trump's action revealed recklessness and weakness. The contrast could not have been sharper, yet the pressure on him was not limited to foreign policy. At home, survivors of Jeffrey Epstein stepped forward, demanding accountability after years of silence. Their voices, long ignored, resurfaced with renewed force. Their testimony accused a system and a presidency more interested in protecting elites than delivering justice. As this unfolded, Trump promoted yet another business venture, a cryptocurrency scheme branded World Liberty Financial. Coming after his NFTs and previous token ventures, it looked less like innovation and more like a desperate attempt to raise cash. Launching such a project in the midst of political turmoil and visible decline only added to the perception of a leader scrambling to stay afloat. Meanwhile, on the world stage, India's Prime Minister Narendra Modi stood beside Xi and Putin. In Beijing, for Trump, this was a personal slight. He had long courted Modi, even lobbying for a Nobel Peace Prize nomination. When India refused, refused, Trump retaliated with tariffs. Now, watching Modi align with his rivals, the symbolism was unmistakable. America's influence under Trump had waned. Back home, his rallies told a similar story. Once electric with massive crowds, they now seemed smaller, flatter, less inspired. The chants continued, but the fervor had dulled. Trump no longer appeared as the untouchable icon his followers once saw. Instead, his public appearances showed a man visibly strained, mumbling, gasping, often incoherent. His image of strength was harder to sustain. And this is the paradox. The more Trump tries to project dominance, the weaker he appears. Military stunts, online tirades, awkward messages to dictators, all only reinforce the sense of a man past his prime, clinging to relevance. His decline mirrors his political isolation, his stunts mirroring desperation rather than confidence. But weakened leaders are often the most unpredictable. History shows that as their grip slips, they take greater risks. Trump's actions, from the Venezuelan strike to the sudden crypto ventures, reveal the volatility of a leader cornered by time, scandal, and rivals. Epstein's survivors amplify the moral weight of this reckoning. Their stories underline not just personal trauma, but institutional failure. And while they call for justice, Trump pursues personal profit, selling coins under the banner of liberty. The contrast could not be more stark. Victims searching for dignity, a former president scrambling for cash. Globally, rivals sense opportunity. Xi, Putin, Kim, joined now by Modi, pose together as an alternative to U.S. dominance. Where once America's strength was measured by its alliances, today its adversaries measure power by how little they need Washington. Trump's bitter statements reveal not confidence, but exclusion. A man watching as the center of gravity shifts away from him. Inside the U.S., the fatigue is visible. His rallies, once symbols of energy, now look tired. His voice is weaker, his posture strained. Supporters still cling to him, but the aura of invincibility has faded. He seems less like a warrior and more like a man resisting inevitability. This is the danger. Leaders in decline rarely fade quietly. They grow reckless, dramatic, unpredictable. For Trump, that danger is not in the past. It is in the days ahead. The tragedy of his story is that the man who once promised strength is now the embodiment of fragility. His words slur, his body weakens, his empire of influence shrinks to grifts and hollow slogans. His decline plays out not in whispers but on live feeds, dissected by critics, mourned by allies, and recorded by history in real time. Donald Trump imagined himself invincible. Instead, he is being remembered as a cautionary tale, a strong man undone by his own frailties, a self-proclaimed savior consumed by greed and ego. Judgment Day is not looming in the distance. It has already arrived, and no rally, no coin, no desperate stunt can change that.